Hi everyone, welcome to this week's video, and it's named The Real Meaning of Be Still and Know That You Are God. So, this is why I'm doing this, because I didn't know really quite what to call it, but it's about what I've seen unravel more of yesterday. So without mentioning too many names, because this is public. So it's to do with family. We all have little things, or do we? And I had to meet up with these members of our family, and everyone was saying, "Oh, good luck with that one. They're gonna drive you mad. It's not gonna be good. It's gonna be awful, and all this." And I just listened. I never said they were wrong or right. I just said, "Oh, okay, that's your perspective. I can have any perspective I like because that's your free choice." But what I saw is what I truly am, and that's where I stayed. So I met up with them and I just stayed present in the now, in not the character, but what I truly am. And that's where the title comes from, Be Still. It doesn't mean your body be still. It just means just don't listen to other people. Don't move to the past or the future. It's be here right now in that you are. And that you are is full of peace, full of love. So when you remain with this is all that turns up. So I had a lovely day with these two people. It was full of love, full of laughter, full of joy. And that's because I stayed with what I truly am. I didn't get involved and said, well, I'm the character like the other people in the family and we'll get carried away with this. You always have a choice to kind of move to that character, to be that character. But the meaning of be still is just be who you really are. Be that God. It's just a label. So if you're feeling, oh, I don't like that label, God, look, why? It's just a label to point to that here and now, that God presence, that source energy that you never move from. But when you choose, you can have an experience of moving away. But the be still doesn't move the body. So when it says be still, oh, I'll just sit on the couch, we're not pointing you to that. It's still. And you never move from this that you are, which we'll call God, or source.
Or effortless being.
Or effortless being. The label isn't important. What I'm pointing you to with the words, it's not in the words are pointers, is you never ever move from this stillness, this allness, this nothingness, this everyness. But there, when you remain, and you always do remain totally present, you can't see anything else but love and peace unless you choose to move. But the moving isn't a physical moving. It's like, oh, I'll move and decide that everyone else's opinion, I'll go on that bandwagon too. And then the day would have been a totally different day. So this is the little pointer to you, whatever you give it all meaning. You make the choice to move. So but I don't mean physical moving.
So that day could have been exactly the same, but if you'd have thought about it differently
and dreaded it and thought, oh my gosh,
it would have because you give it all meaning.
Yeah, and I just thought, well, I'll just remain as who I am, and that who I am is not the character Collette. It isn't. And I decided just to come from peace and love, and no matter what was happening, there was still squabbling, as you could call it, but it was funny. It was harmless. It was like you're being two kids, but you're not two kids. You're in your 70s. But it was just love and ease and joy, and then it just shows you again that's what's always there. And when you move, you don't move. You just have an experience of moving.
Yeah. So if you think about the word, because it's just a word anyway, but so we've given the word still the meaning that
that's the body that's still.
No, just so the mind. So the definition of the word still is not to move forward, not to move back, and that what the mind wants to do. It wants to take you to to moving forward or moving back.
Yeah, past and future.
Past and future, but they don't even exist. They're just a thought, because the past is gone and the future never comes. So when it says be still and know, if you right now in the present moment and you don't move because you're fixed on the now, which is always present anyway, that you can't get away from the now.
Just gets kind of covered up.
If you're thinking about the past, really what you're thinking about now and then calling it the past. Or you're thinking about the now and calling it the future, but you're only thinking about it now, because now is all there is.
Yeah.
So when if there's no past and no future, if you take away the past, you take away the future, and you take away going to the next, or going back, or going forward, and you stay right here, which is the only place you can ever be.
It's still.
It's still, and then. When people do that, when they are still, you feel peace, and you feel happiness, and you feel joy, and because the mind's not going to it. The mind can't exist in this present moment. So it wants to take you to a past or a present,
which is made up.
A past or a future, which is made up. So if in this present moment that you feel peace, and everyone we talk to, when you get to that state of peace, when you take away the past and the future, and you take away the thoughts, what's left there is this stillness, this peace, and that's where everything is. Because if in this stillness there's peace and love and happiness and joy right now, well, that if now is all there is, because we've just said the past and the future don't exist, so the now is all there is. So doesn't that mean that the only place you could find joy and peace and love and happiness and abundance is in the present moment?
In the now, yeah.
Because if nothing else exists, it has to be now. So when you're thinking about the future, the mind's taking you away and saying, no, it's not here, but it's here right now. It could, because where else could it be?
And the only choice is whether to get an experience of moving, which you always stay as that fully present God source energy, and then you'll have an experience of a movement to something lesser, whatever that is you choose. So you can say, oh, I'm going to that party, I don't want to go, it's going to be rubbish. You've chosen that. It kind of gets covered up what you truly are, but never really does.
And I think that's the other one that says in the Bible, where it says, first find the kingdom and everything else will be given to you. Well, the kingdom's now, in this stillness.
Yeah.
And that's when you're still, you know what you are, because the peace and the love and everything comes up. And then if you're seeing everything through the eyes of this stillness, it's all here now.
And that's why another thing is there's nothing to do. So that can be our next video. So it doesn't mean, oh, do nothing physically, but there is no doing to peace and happiness and love and abundance, because you are that fully already. It's only because you've accepted a thought.
You've gone to a
that
past
you're not.
Or a future.
Yeah, you've accepted a thought that you're not, and then you'll experience you're not. And all you'll see is all evidence that it's not here, you're not that, this is rubbish. But all that is a changing experience.
And that other thing about, when Neville Goddard says that thing about, what's it called? Revision.
Oh, yeah.
So, when he said, there's a thing he says when he says, I remember when this was an empty lot.
Yeah.
But now it's full. But you can only think about something now. So the past doesn't exist, it's gone, and the future never comes. So what he's really saying is, in this moment, it's full. Because he's saying, I remember when it was empty, so now it's full. So in the present moment, if you say everything's here right now, because there's nothing you don't have to change your past. You can't change your past, because your past is is right now. So if you're saying that, this lot is full now, that's what you're going to experience, aren't you? Because you only experience what you're thinking right in this present moment.
And what you believe.
So you don't really have to revise anything.
No.
Because there's nothing to revise. So I can see what he was saying there. I remember when it was empty, but now it's full. So he's saying now in this moment it's full.
Yeah.
And then if you keep saying that, it's going to be full.
Yeah.
But
And you remain there, so be still again.
Yes, be
you
still
remain
there where it's full. But when you go to a past or future and then say, oh, but now I remember when it's not. Or look, you go, no, it's not.
Oh, it's not here. Then it's kind of, you covered it up and then you'll experience, oh, it's not here.
Because when you still your mind right now in this present moment, there's peace right now. Because the mind goes quiet and then the peace is there. Yeah. It's always there. So how, if it's always there, where can it go? Yeah. It can't go anywhere, can it?
No, so it's like you probably, I think it's, I don't know if it's Rupert Spurrier, I've heard saying this and I might have got, this is how I see it anyway, kind of like that. It's like you are the sun and anything in the sky around you doesn't bother you because you're the sun. But what we do is we go looking for the light instead of seeing we are that light. You're never going to see the light because you are the light. You are it all. So what if there's black clouds or whatever's in the sky, how can it bother you? Unless you say, that bothers me, and then you will experience it. But the truth is, it can never even come close to bothering who you really are.
And another thing is, like David Bingham says about, so the mind wants to compare and judge and measure, and it wants to describe things. So even in his thing, he says, now describe it. But but if you think about it right now, in this moment, if you took away the words, you can't describe anything.
No.
So then, if you take away the words, and then there would be no thoughts. You take away the words, the thoughts wouldn't be there. So the mind's just gone obsolete.
Yeah, the commentator can't speak.
If you take away the words, there's nothing to describe. So that again, if you take away all the words, back to that stillness, that peace.
So it's like at a football match, if you take the microphone off the commentator, it's just nothing.
You say describe the match, you can't. Without the words, you can't.
No.
So if you take away the words, all of a sudden you go to this quiet space again.
And that's all.
Where everything is.
Yeah, and that's, you never move from that.
So there's nothing to do now. You don't have to do anything.
Just be still, but we don't mean don't move
always,
your body.
Yeah, you're always still, because everything, that's what I think. Another thing is when you're saying, oh, the changeless and the changing. So everything, thoughts come and go, the outside, everything comes and go, but the stillness is always there, because who you really are, it's always been there, always will be.
Yeah.
And there's no time.
Yeah, and there's nothing to do to be that stillness.
No, you don't have to do anything.
The only doing is when you say, oh no, this is rubbish, and then you'll experience
and so you don't even have to shift to it, because the shift is a movement.
Yeah.
And we're talking about
nothing to
still.
do, you're always it.
Yeah.
There's nothing to change. So we hope you've enjoyed that video, and the next new one or another one will come up on the screen. I did a bit of tech. So something will come up in a minute, or even now. So I'll go like that, and then she'll say, oh, look, she's even pointing to it.
It has to be now. Yeah. Can't be any other time.
Okay, see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.